Call the meeting to order. We're starting at 6 o'clock tonight because at 7 o'clock we have a special service. There'll be a September 11th memorial service at 7 o'clock outside. And I invite everyone to stay and participate. And we'll take care of our September regular monthly meeting. May we have a roll call, please?
Councilman Howard?
Here.
Councilwoman Scully? Here. Councilman Goodekunz?
Here.
Councilman Bosch?
Here.
Supervisor Boyer?
Here.
All board members present.
All right. At this time, I'd ask for you to please rise for a salute to the flag. I'd like Pat Crow, our longest-standing World War II veteran, to lead us in the salute, please.
I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
May we have a motion to approve the town clerk's minutes, which were distributed to all board members. There were a few clerical corrections, and the final version was out to everybody. May we have a motion to approve them? Moved by Scott to approve the minutes of the August 13th meeting.
I'll second that.
Seconded by Fred. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? So carried. Motion to approve the July 2013 financial statement, and the August statement has been distributed. We have a motion to approve the July.
I'll make a motion.
Moved by Jim.
I'll second.
Second by Mandy. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So carried. Just want you to know that the August statement is out, and we're entering the budget season. And right now, this is our 8th month of the year, so you can see that our spending on most lines that go on a monthly basis, we're at 68%. So you can easily see, you get a very good snapshot of whether we're underspending or overspending, and I think the budget looks quite good, to be frank with you. And later in the meeting, we're going to have our first session to begin to review the budget later in September. Okay? Special presentations. Josh Santoro was one of our youth directors who did the basketball program. I expect that he's going to be here. He had indicated that he is got a health issue going on. He's got Lyme disease, and he wasn't sure whether he could make it. If he can't make it tonight, we'll defer his report on the basketball youth program, which went for a month during the summer. We'll defer that to next month. But here we are. Josh, we just got to you on our agenda.
all I need is 6 numbers and I'll be all right.
So I just want to introduce you to everyone. It's Josh Santoro. He ran our basketball youth program, and we would like a report to the town board and to the public. And if you could keep it in, add as part of your presentation whether this program was successful enough that you recommend it for next year, what your financial needs, whether the program should be bigger, smaller, sideways. Give us your input.
All right, well, thank you very much. I really appreciate the time that you guys have given me. The camp was a huge success. We had 60 participants, ranging from 7th grade to 12th grade. 40 out of the 60 were from 9th grade up to 12th grade, so the older kids really got involved in it. They ended up showing up more than the younger ones did, which was a huge surprise. The entire varsity team showed up the whole summer, which was great. The only complaint we got was that it was only a month long. They want to go 2 months. We had 6 coaches, all from Eldred School. We had 5 graduates that came back that want to be part of it. If this continues, to help out with the coaching, which was awesome to see. As far as financial goes, we were able to stay almost $1,000 under budget, which was
100 or 1,000?
1,000 under.
You emailed me 100.
No, I forgot to hit the other. My thumbs are sometimes weird at number sign. Under $1,000.
That's better.
Yes, it's much better. Which the town of Highland and town of Lumberland were so generous in offering 15 from each, so we were able to keep it a little under, which was great. Each kid got their own jersey. They have a set of basketball cards that are coming to them. It was awesome. I mean, I can't explain it any other way but to say it was awesome just to see these kids having something to do at night, which seems to be the time, and especially the way the summer has gone in this particular area, being hit with so many local issues. I think I would love to do it again next year. Would love to do it. Financially, doesn't have to raise at all. It could stay the same. That would be great. I would love to go a little longer because I want to do whatever I can as long as with you guys to give them as much opportunity to do as many positive things. And I think an extra month or an extra couple of weeks in the summertime would be the right medicine for this area to give them something to go to. They're too tired once they leave to do anything else. I promise you, they're just too. Some of them don't even want to drive home. They're so tired, and you know, it was a learning camp. You know, not only did they come to have fun, but they learned. Not only did they learn from a couple of coaches went to a coaching seminar, but there was nothing but college coaches. We were able to give them all that information. It was great. It was absolutely phenomenal.
Okay. Any board member have any questions for Josh?
Nice job.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Nice
I
job.
appreciate it.
Before, I just want to say that since Jim Gudikun's got on the board, he's been saying, we got to have something for the older kids. We got to have something for the older kids. And you know, what do you have? And then, you know, asking you to receive. All of a sudden, Josh calls up and says, hey, I want to do a basketball program. So great job, man.
Thank you. And thank you to the support was awesome.
Yeah.
You cannot do anything, as you all know, without proper support, and that's what we have here. So
Yeah.
thank you very
Well,
much.
thank you. We got a little report that something.
It's if I didn't have bad luck, I'd have no luck. So we're trying to get rid of a little Lyme disease now, kind of making the joints get a little stiff. But my strong wife keeps pushing me out of bed, and I keep moving. So it's that's like I said, you need support. So we're getting there.
Well,
Thank you.
I'm totally confident that the board will support the program.
Thank you.
We'll
Thank
see if we can't get you an extra month next year.
That would be
And
great.
if you're willing to continue to do it, we also have a youth program for the younger kids. We had a report last month, and that program was also, I think, the greatest participation that we've ever had for the young kids. So it's great.
Yes,
So
yes,
thank
sir.
you for
Thank you.
adding this dimension
My
for the
pleasure.
older kids.
My pleasure, absolute pleasure. Thank you very
Okay.
much.
Terrific.
Enjoy the rest of your evening, everybody.
Okay.
Thank you. Good to see you all.
All right. Want to remind everybody at 7 o'clock there'll be a 9/11 remembrance service outside. And I'll ask the town clerk if you have any correspondence.
Yes, I do. This is the Assessor's Monthly Report. I am unable to attend tonight's meeting because I will be attending the Upper Delaware Council's meeting regarding our technical assistance grant application for topographic maps. Beginning this week, homeowners in Sullivan County will be receiving a notice in the mail regarding the renewal of their basic star exemption. Each notice will contain a unique identification number, and the property owner will be required to register via telephone or internet in order to receive the exemption for the 2014 tax roll. The process is simple and should only take a few minutes to complete. More information is available in my office and on the New York State website. This registration process is being conducted by New York State and not the local assessors. However, I am available to answer any questions. Registration is required only for the basic star exemption renewal. All other exemptions should be renewed through the assessor's office along with the new basic star applications. Respectfully, Renee Ozemek, Assessor. Highland Fire Department August monthly report. Calls, 19, present were 94, man-hours 357. Drills, 3, present was 52, man-hours 167. Classes, classes 1, total 554 man-hours. Respectfully submitted, Gregory Hatton, Highland Fire Department. Town of Highland Constable's monthly report, total hours of patrol, 270 and a half. Total court hours, 21. Total administrative hours, 20 and a half. Total hours for the month, 312. Total number of arrests, 1. Misdemeanors, 1. Verbal warnings, 63. Written citations, 12. MVA reports, 1. Domestic reports, 2. Incident reports, 31. Submitted by Chief of Patrol, Michael Walton. Human Fire Department monthly report. Calls, 8. Man-hours, 228. Drills, 2, man-hours 101, 16 present. Meetings, 3, 116 man-hours, 39 present. Total man-hours 863, man-hours to date 5,088. Firemanically yours, Jeffrey Haas, Chief. Flu season is upon us, and at the Town Hall on September 4th from 10 to 1, we will be having a flu clinic here for anyone without health insurance. It can be paid, it's
What was the date?
$25. September 24th, Tuesday from 10 to 1. And I think after 1 o'clock they might go over to Lumberland in the afternoon, but they haven't, we just discussed this today. Supervisor Andrew Boyer of the Town of Highland. Dear Mr. Boyer, at the August 27, 2013 Upper Delaware Council Project Review Committee meeting, the expansion of river trips in the Town of Highland was discussed. In April 2013, I spoke with the Town of Highland Planning Board Chair, Barry Hopkin, about the proposed livery adjacent to the carriage house located on State Route 97 in Barryville, New York. At that time, there was no site plans available for the proposed livery, and Mr. Hopkin informed me that the business venture would operate out of a seasonal, non-permanent structure and rent between 7 and 14 canoes with no sites available for camping. Throughout the summer season of 2013, the Project Review Committee understands that Reaver's operation has expanded and now includes a permanent structure, 10 campgrounds, numerous vessels of varying sizes, and is a permitted commercial use through the National Park Service. The committee has several concerns about this operation and requests that the site plans and permits for this operation be submitted to the Upper Delaware Council for review with the river management plan as well as conformance with the Town of Highland zoning law. Sincerely, Travis Odell, Resource Specialist, Upper Delaware Council.
Point of information on that letter, we received it last week. We discussed it at our work session. The letter has been forwarded to the chairman of the planning board for response in concert with the town attorney, and we'll ask them to reply directly to the Upper Delaware Council as it was a planning board determination, and they should answer it.
Can I do that? American Legion Ambulance Service, number of calls 16, miles traveled 439, hours served 107 and a half. Types of calls 14, emergency 14, standby 2, mutual aid to Lumberland 1, respectfully submitted, Pat Friedrich, Captain. Animal Control Report for August. 5 calls, dog at large, Camp Koinonia threatening swimmers. Annual Ag and Markets Inspection, work-free rabies clinic in the town of Thompson, 5 cats abandoned by Washington Lake tenants, removed and taken to Humane Society. Starring cat reported at Sand Beach trap set, 71 miles traveled.
All right. Reports. The highway superintendent's not here. Is Darrell in here by any chance? If not, we'll go on to the supervisor's report, which will be brief. Renee Osmek did give you the report on the need to renew your STAR exemptions. I want everyone to be aware that STAR property owners are now going to be required to file annually. That's different. It's a change. You have to file by December 31st to get that exemption, which in the town of Highland average is almost $500. So it's a lot of money. The change is designed to cut down on fraud. There are people who are saying that my permanent residence is in the town of Highland and also one somewhere else, and they're taking it twice. There was an article on Monday in the paper, fraud crackdown on property tax exemption. Doreen, you put this on the board together with Renee's letter so that anyone having a question, just walk into Renee's office and she'll explain it or get you the paperwork to do that. And the another item is we got a letter today. Doreen gave me a letter from Safeway Selective Way Insurance Company, which was our insurance carrier for 2007 through 2011. They've done an audit and they've determined that they've adjusted our premiums and we're getting rebates for 2007 through 2011. I wrote the company today and say, when can we expect payment? So Doreen, put that in the file, please, if you will. That's the supervisor's report. I see Dave is here. Dave, do you have any updates that you want to give the board on, principally on the Lang situation? Have there been any developments? There was a letter received today, mid-morning, from Bernie Kozakowski, who purports to represent J.P. Lang and suggest a timetable, everybody has this letter, to do the work on the building, which would be in 4 stages, and the work would be completed on March 31st, 2014, according to the timetable proposed, and that written plans and details would be furnished 10 days hence, okay? I want everyone also to be aware that we do have a resolution to demolish and remove the debris from the Lang property, and so we'll have to make a decision on that on page 2. But can you, Dave, give us what has happened in the last month?
I visited the site 6 times since the last meeting, and Mr. Lang has, he's put up about 12 sheets of plywood haphazardly to plug up the holes that were in the building so as no one could get into the building. And at that point, that's all that's really happened. He did give me a list of things that have to be done. It's also the same list of things that Joe Gottlieb had in his letter to be done to repair the garage, to make repairs on the garage portion of it. And this was last minute, like a couple of days ago, that he did. This was like Friday, Thursday.
Two questions. One is, this had started
2006.
2006, and we had communications at late spring, early summer on this. And
Absolutely, yeah.
none of the work was done up to that point.
No.
And the second thing is, I think we have he's proposing a 6-month window to get this work done. Would you have any comment of whether that time is adequate? Do you think you'll need another maybe 3 or 4 years or something?
If the man would, if they would hire a contractor, get the thing done, they could do it by the time they have a demolition permit at this point that is expiring on November 28th.
Could the work be done?
The work could be done, in my opinion, up to that time. The repairs to the garage, the demolition of the house as he would like to see it done. But to stretch it out through the winter time, the weather, it's kind of fruitless to put a deadline.
What strikes me is that if the work is proposed to be done, that's been requested for years now, the window to do this is now midwinter when nothing was done through the summer.
Absolutely, yeah.
I think there was a fable about that with Aesop
Well,
or
there promised to
something.
be a lot that was going to be done this summer and nothing happened, so.
All right. Anybody have any questions for Dave? If not, on one other report, at our last meeting, we read a letter from Betty Speaker regarding motorcycle noise, and we asked our administrative constable, Mike Walton, to look into it. And Mike, could you give us a report? Did you have a chance to get out and see Mrs. Speaker and what's gone on?
I did, and I spoken to the constables in town, and I spoke to the state police, and it's something that we're looking into. As long, it's a tough situation. As long as the Harleys come through and the exhausts are not modified and the baffles aren't removed, it's a legal exhaust. So we had a bunch of stops on that Saturday after I spoke to Mr. Speaker, and they're baffled, but they're allowed. That's how they come from the factory. It's a loud exhaust. Unfortunately, they're illegal, and I know it's affecting her health. She's bothered by it, and she wants something done. So we've come up with a couple ideas, and we're going to work on it, continue.
Any questions for Mike? Okay, thank you, Mike.
You're welcome.
Are there any other reports? If not, we'll move on to public comment on the agenda. Anyone have public comment at this time? We'll go into committee reports. Community planning seniors. I don't think I have anything today. No. Fred, do you have anything on buildings?
I'd just like to speak on the courthouse. Basically, last May there was an inspection by the judicial staff, 3rd Judicial District, and they came up with quite a few different recommendations. They went over it with us verbally, and we finally just got the written report, and in the interim, we've made quite a few of those corrections. Namely, we now have a roadway going around to the back of the courthouse to bring the prisoners in. A closet door that didn't close is closed, and various minor things. Another thing is that our highway department has just repaved the parking lot. Did a beautiful job, and we now have a proposal to stripe the parking lot with a handicapped parking on the right side of the building and no parking for the access going to the back of the building. And that's by Superior Surfacing Systems for $540. And I would recommend a resolution to award the striping of the courthouse parking lot to Superior Surfacing Systems for the sum of $540.
Okay, thank you. On that report, what I'd like to do is I'd like to just to make sure we can put that rather thick report to bed and that we go through it item by item. I'd like to set up a committee of the 2 justices, Judge LaRupa and Judge Sweeney, Fred Bosch and myself, to meet and go over it and see what we can do. And Judge LaRufa has mentioned to me at the start of the meeting, if there's some work that we have to do, perhaps we can get a grant for it. Do you want to comment on that, Tony?
Yes, each year the judicial of the 3rd District gives us an application for a grant. And usually it has to do with court security. And if you put in for it, you usually get what you put in for, but you have to give them a price on what improvements you're going to do, as probably say cameras or the back entrance. That all has to be redone because I don't think that door even opens. So that's something that has to be looked into, but hopefully we can get it off of a grant.
All right, so we'll set up a meeting at a convenient time and place between the 4 of us, and we'll work through it and see if we need to apply for a grant or what. And if you can just let us know what the logistics are for applying for the grant, what the paperwork is and all of that.
So we have all that. We submit it every year and do it online.
Okay, terrific. All right. Let's see. Scott, we have anything on emergency management? Okay. UDC report, the September meeting was very smooth. It was a quiet month. One resolution was adopted, which was designed to streamline the multiple reports. Every month they give these reports and they go on and on. They're kind of tedious, most of which, by the way, were distributed by email in advance. So you're hearing these things for the 2nd, 3rd, or 4th time. So they've set sort of time limits for the reports to be given more briefly. And the first shot at it was this meeting, and last Thursday, and the meeting went quite smoothly with the new protocols. All right? Anything on scenic byway,
Nothing major.
beautification?
I got something on that.
Yep.
Arnie's not here, his wife is not feeling well. He will be at the memorial service tonight. And he was down at the cul-de-sac and he painted the fence there and did some weeding, and that's about it. Took the garbage out.
Great guy. All right, do you have anything on the Heroes Park?
Well, the only thing I have is that, we're having our memorial service tonight, and the VFW is part of that. We're honored to support our firefighters and our constables and our ambulance service here in town. It's a sad day for the whole country, and it's a good thing to remember. 9/11, we should never forget it. On our adopter unit, the good news is we won't be sending any more packages. It looks like they'll be coming home at the end of the month, and they should be back in the States somewhere around the 1st of October, which you're aware of. You got an email on that, I believe, from your friend. So I want to thank everybody for their support and donating whatever you donated, and I'll be taking the box out of here probably tomorrow. And thanks again for all your support, helping our troops overseas.
Yeah, I talked to the leader of the program, the Adopt a Troop program, Linda Patterson, and she said that this town did a fine job. We're actually the only town in New York State that she has right now. There's literally dozens and dozens of cities and towns across the country, but we're the only one in New York who adopted a troop. And she actually invited us to go down to a ceremony in October, and whether we're able to do it or not, I don't know. But we'd love to keep the relationship that we built. I don't know how many packages Peter sent to Afghanistan, but it was lots.
County up to 70, I think.
Yeah, so it was an amazing job. And those boxes there were filled by not only the VFW, but also by citizens. So I thank everybody who either baked something or wrote a letter or sent a card or did something. So thank you. Okay. Any other reports? Under old business, we're still, any status on that policy?
Still working
procedure?
on it.
Working on it. The unsafe building hearing, Mike Davidoff he didn't come tonight because he thought we were getting a letter that would indicate that the job is going to be done, 1, 2, 3. It's not actually being done, 1, 2, 3. In my opinion, everybody can make their own judgment as to whether it's a legitimate attempt to cure the unsafe building or whether it's more stalling. So I don't want to categorize it, but everybody, you'll have a chance to vote on the resolution later on. Any other old business? If not, we'll go on to new business. This was on last week about beginning discussions on income level for senior aged exemptions. What has happened, just so that you know, if you're at the very lowest income level and you're a senior and you got an increase in your Social Security, for some it has disqualified some seniors for the maximum benefits. And Renee and I discussed it today, and we've decided to ask the Assessors Association to come to the meeting of the supervisors, get all 15 towns involved to see if there'd be some uniform movement to help out those who have the lowest of incomes and see if we can help with the tax burden. On the budget, I'd like to announce that we're putting together the 2014 budget. Doreen will have it put together, and I'd like to recess this meeting to September 24th, which is about the only Tuesday available up at the Senior Center, to start to talk about it. And we'll start on an informal basis. We know that we're going to have to plug in money for Josh Santoro's basketball program. He's going to keep the costs at what it was this year with double the time, which is a pretty good deal, I think. So That's about it. We're working on the budget, and as I say, I reviewed all the spending, and in my opinion, I don't really see any cost overruns for 2013. I think that everyone's been diligent in trying to contain costs, and I think we should certainly be able to bring in a budget that's 2% or less, and I suspect it'll be less. Okay? On any new business, anyone want to bring up anything new? If not, we'll go into resolutions. Yes, Dave?
We do have another unsafe building in town that I've been working on. I've contacted the owner through normal procedure letters. Lives in Florida. He has contracted a local contractor at this point to take the building down, so that one we won't have to worry about. Okay.
Okay. Resolution. Resolution to reappoint Renee Osmek to a second six-year term as sole assessor for the town of Highland.
I'll make the resolution.
Moved by Jimmy, second by Fred. And any discussion? This has been on the agenda it was on last month. We've all had a chance to think about it, and consensus seems to be that she's done a very conscientious job, and would like to have her continue for another six-year term, I think. We'll vote it. Moved and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? So carried. Resolution to seek bids or proposals for the demolition and removal of all debris from the Lang property, section block and lot 15A-1-12, 30 Washington Lake Road, Highland, New York 12792, and to advertise for same. Bid or proposals, that should be or. Bids or proposals are to be sealed and contain a non-collusive form certification. Bid proposals to be open at noon, October 7th, 2013 at the town clerk's office. When I had heard, I prepared this agenda last week. I had heard that he was coming in with a written proposal. I thought maybe we'd table this. I'm not so inclined to do it this time because I'm not certain that the proposal to do the repairs is entirely serious.
What if we
Do both.
gave him until his permit, his demo permit was up to make those repairs with a...
Well, he still has a window he has two things that he can do. One is I would like him to tighten up that 6-month period, which is a little bit overboard. And the other thing, he says that he's going to bring in plans and an actual design in 10 days. So we'll see if he does that. We always have the right, if we get proposals in, we can say if it's not necessary, we don't have to accept. We reserve the right to reject any and all bids and proposals, okay? So this is sort of a belt and suspenders. If he does what he's supposed to do, we won't need it, but we have it as a plan B in case he fails to do what he says he's gonna do, okay? All right, so is there a motion to approve this resolution?
I'll make the motion.
Moved by Scott, seconded by Mandy. Any discussion? Call the question, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? So carried. Entertain a motion to award the parking lot of the Justice Court, the striping job to Superior Surfacing Systems at a cost of $540.
I'll make that motion.
Moved by Scott,
Second.
seconded by Mandy. And any discussion? I know that the design of the striping had to be done. I know Fred loves to design parking lots. So I know it's going to be properly designed. This looks like a real win, and we thank you, Fred, for doing the work, contacting the striper, and doing the layout, I'm sure. So let's call a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? So carried. Are there any other business to come before the board? If not, I want to announce that there'll be a flu clinic, which Doreen mentioned in her report, from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m., September 24th, here at the Town Hall. I urge anyone, certainly elderly, anyone with immune issues, to take advantage of this. It's important. Are there any other business that we need to address? If not, let's go on to paying our bills. Jimmy, can you help us out there?
Sure, I'd like to make a motion that we pay general abstract number 9, claims number 305 to 346 in the amount of $18,543.03, which have been reviewed and audited by each member of the board and the town supervisor.
I'll second.
Okay, moved and seconded. Any discussion? To pay the bills, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
I'd also like to make a motion to pay highway abstract number 9, claims 121 to 133 in the amount of $75,626.73, which also have been reviewed by all the board members and the town supervisor.
I'll second that.
Seconded by Mandy. Any discussion? Pay the bills, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? So carried.
And lastly, I'd like to make a motion to pay streetlight abstract number 9, claim number 9 in the amount of $10.61, which has been reviewed by the town board and the town supervisor.
I'll second that.
Moved and seconded to pay the light bill. All in favor?
No.
Aye. Opposed? Anyone who's been watching the streetlight bills, by the way, they're replacing the lights with more efficient bulbs, and this is the lowest we've ever
Yeah,
had.
it's really low.
I noticed that was
So this is pretty good. Okay, did we vote?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. At this time, I'd open the meeting up to any public comment. Yes, Connie?
Hi, this is Nesty, Highland, New York. I have a question. Our street, Lakeview Drive, is considered Lakeview Drive Road for 911. How can that be fixed? It's not Lakeview Drive Road.
Are you suggesting it should be like you drive?
I would like
Or
it to be
Lakeview
what
Road.
I've known it to be for all my life, yeah. Do you have that problem, Jim?
I always known it as Lakeview Drive. I didn't know there was somebody put a road into it.
911 has it with the main road at the end of it.
The only reason that I could possibly think is that they're trying to have one Lakeview Drive in the town, one Main Street in the town, and so maybe there was a conflict at York Lake or some other place, and that's how the road got added. I'm not sure, that's just a guess. We'll check it and get back to
Yeah,
you.
we'll look into it.
Right, because, for example, when you do things through credit cards and they use your legitimate address, they tell you you're wrong. Because you don't use road at the end.
All right. We'll try to help you out and get it straight. Okay? Any other public comment?
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. I want everyone to know that at 7 o'clock, we're going to have our service for the 911 Remembrance. Afterwards, there'll be refreshments here in the building, coffee and cake. I want to thank Peter, who's already gone outside, and Doreen, the fire chiefs, Jeff Haas. Wait, I got to get it right. Jeffrey Haas. Jeffrey Haas, Warren Wagner, for helping us, Kathy Sweeney, they helped in arranging this service for tonight. Our notion is that we want to have a regular standing committee so that every year, like clockwork, we will have a celebration and a remembrance of this solemn and important day, okay? And at 7 o'clock, our service will begin. I suspect it'll, it's not going to be a long thing. Dick Martinkovic, who's the head of the Public Safety Committee for the county, he's the Commissioner of Public Safety, I guess you call it, is going to be our guest speaker. And everyone is invited to stay and attend. So if there's no further business to come before the board, I'd entertain a motion that we recess to September 24th at 7 p.m. at the Senior Center to go over the budget.
I'll second.
Moved by Mandy, seconded by Scott. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? We are in recess, and I thank everybody for your attendance.
40 minutes.